What you are going to see now are very significant tables and relevant to our time. Many of them will be taken for YouTube, which I did about Donald Trump, Netanyahu, Putin. But I want first to show you this one because statistics say that it is 1 to millions. Why? I did not even ask to check. They said you don't need, you need only people with common sense, the straight people. There are some people, whatever you will show them the truth, they will always try to tell you, no, this, But looking on this table properly, with patience, you will see yourself that this is far away from being coincidence. Let us see. The first thing, what is obvious in this table, many words, all are related, to Putin, Russia, United States, Donald Trump. All what you see here appears in one book. Numbers, the Midbar. And not in one book, it appears in few verses. In chapter 10, Yud, it is from Kaptet to Lamed, few verses in one chapter. And then you have few verses in chapter 11, not the full chapter. So altogether, what you see here is in about 19 verses in chapter 11 and 7 verses in 10. So what you see here is in 26 verses, maybe 26, name of God, clearly show divine providence, who knows? But unbelievable, as I said, statistic with common sense, with straight understanding said that anyone with common sense, with patience to look properly, will see immediately that this table far away from being coincidence. Why? Because this is what I was looking for. President. You have president here, right in the center. So this table speaks about presidents. Which one? President Nasi, president of Russia, Russia. Who is the president? Putin. Yeah, Putin. You see only 3 letters. Why? Because the letter Vav and the Pei are part of another word. But if you count the skip between Pei and Vav, tells you they are the same. So Putin. And why this amazing phenomena? Because the letter Vav of Putin is part of Edom, which is very, very clear to do with Russia. And the Pei is a sharing letter with Trump. Trump and Putin clearly show that it was at that time. Now, unfortunately, things are different because of what we see just now what happened. But it was a time, when Donald Trump was the president, and the connection between Netanyahu and Donald Trump and Putin were a very positive one. So this is what a style they could bring to Messiah. Because many things that happened at that time, and the date also at that time, it was when Trump was elected, it was the year of Shemitah also, unbelievable, sabbatical. But because of the Democrats, the leftists definitely, who fight against the Torah, against God, against the Sabbath, which we have today in Israel and in the state Democrats. And we see just what is the Gematria and Democrats and the leftists. They spoil the picture, and who knows that all the problems that we have today, who are going to develop all because of this. And we see just how Donald Trump said about the situation. So what more we have here is Donald Trump in USA, right? In USA, president in USA, unbelievable. Then you have Cyrus here, because we say the Cyrus, he was really Persian king, but he was called in Isaiah 45, God called him my Messiah. Why? Because he was helping Israel. He allowed them to settle, recognize Israel. So this is what gave him Messiah. And the great Kabbalist in Israel by Cook said that Trump had spark of Cyrus. Unbelievable, yeah, in Israel. So it was definitely time that could be the time of Messiah. So who is in the bottom line on this table? Unbelievable, Netanyahu, later. And twice Messiah, because Messiah, son of Joseph, and those who helped Israel, like Donald Trump and Cyrus at that time, both come here, Messiah and Messiah. I think one of the best meetings of Messiah and Messiah in a tie now in the middle. So I think that somebody with common sense and straight heart, yeah, and not somebody that some people who immediately when they because they try to see what it is not. So then it is a Satan. So let us see interesting gematria now, which explains the situation today, why we have this opposition to the situation as we see. So what happened after Donald Trump? Unfortunately, was not elected. Who caused this? Let us see. Let us see. So the interesting gematria, which says the following. A lot of tables here, I said, many of them were taken for here. So the Hebrew word Democrats come to the numerical value of 359. And the Satan 359. Why? What the Democrat is so bad? Yeah. They are against the Torah. They allow most severe sins like homosexuality, abortion, which really was the reason why God flooded the world, because they transgressed the 7 laws of Noach, and the most severe one is abortion, homosexualism. And this was the Satan, and Democrats the same this. Now the leftists, we know quite well, also in Meretz in Israel, the government of today, Lapid, don't believe in the Torah, don't believe in Sabbath, don't believe in Sabbath things and God. So definitely, basically like Esau, who definitely was fighting with Jacob, Esau with Edom, both of the same. So no doubt, this was the Democrats and the small, the leftists who brought to this terrible situation today to invasion of Quran, of Quran. We see really clearly we see everything really coming clear. So this was at that time, really, this Abraham Accords also clearly was a sign of Messiah. Why? Because it's written in the Midrash that in future the Arabs will turn their attitude to Jews, they will realize the greatness of Jews. And this is said about the Torah, which tells us that on the funeral of Abraham, Isaac gave precedence to Yitzchak. It means he allowed him to be the first, admitting that he is basically the most important one. What is happening today is the same. You must know the Emirates, Bahrain, those are the places which really are real Islamists. Iran believes in the Islam, but they're a mixture of Edom, of Arabs and Amalek. They're not pure one. The Emirates keeps very strong on their tradition, and this is why are them. And recognizing Israel, no doubt, part of the era of Messiah. And then what you see here, it is Al Jazeera, but it's Netanyahu and Trump and Putin. Yeah, love, so this was the same, but this is a fact. It was wonderful connection between Donald Trump and Netanyahu and Putin. No doubt it's part of Messiah time, but the Satan is strong, and this is what he did. He did everything to cause that Donald Trump will not be the president, not Netanyahu. And we see how many troubles it comes of this, what it's going to do is this war, because you see clearly what Trump said. Trump praises Putin amid new escalation in Russia-Ukraine border. not simple. There is a reason why. And you can see just like by here, let us see just now. Exactly, the words come here. That clearly what things it says. Let us see. All these tables are very, very relevant. But I want to see really what Trump said about this. So this is what he said. His words are as follows. I mean, the tables, all of them are each one very important. Yeah. Oh, oh here we coming to former President Donald Trump praised Russian President Vladimir Putin's moves in Ukraine, calling him survey after the Kremlin recognized the independence of two breakaway Russian separated controlled region in eastern Ukraine. Now, it was very interesting what she said. I went in yesterday and there was television screen and I said, this is genius. Putin declared a big portion of Ukraine. Putin declares it as independent, Trump said in an interview Tuesday on the conservative clay. And then it carries on in this article. We'll not see show the article, but we try to concentrate on tables. So this one we saw, which is unbelievably clear, shows the connection which was between Trump, Putin, and Netanyahu. And now clearly it was clear stage before Messiah. But because of repentance, and before of the Satan, we have to wait. So this is in Hebrew. What is going on, what he said, everything. And then we have many tables which I did in YouTube, so this was not so clear. Came out Dolan president and Trump. You see it here, Trump, Donald Trump, amazing to have also Dolan and Trump together, who was president in the United States, and he was elected the month of Cheshvan. It means also clear indication he was the 45th president, and the Cyrus mentioned as the Messiah of God also in the 45th chapter of Isaiah. Then we have here this table a little bit clearer. Then we have also about Donald Trump. Amazing, Donald Trump. He was a lover of Israel, no doubt, because he believed in Israel, believed in the Bible. This is why he allowed them to settle, recognize Jerusalem. So lover of Israel, of Israel. And coming here, Donald Trump, very good meeting of Donald Trump. Then was elected to the US in the year 5777. Very interesting. This was sabbatical year, which should be like this year, a prepared for Messiah. As our Rabbi tell us, in sabbatical year was in the beginning, like we have today, and the Messiah. But we miss it. Oh, it was 777, unbelievable, very Kabbalistic number, 7 kingdom. So he was elected president to be president to the US. Unbelievable. It wasn't the Cheshvan, the month of Cheshvan that he was elected. So, as I said, very significant table. Also, all of this came in one chapter, in one book. Amazing. Yeah, all these things show that all these tables are far away from being coincidence. Then, going more, okay, this is what we did with Professor Rips and Richard Shaw when Trump was in danger of murder. You know the story in Las Vegas, very famous. And this is the table. And I clearly found the name of the man who wanted to murder him, Michael. Very small this. So here you have Donald Trump, and you have that he was saved really from a murderer, and the name of the murderer is Michael. And it was a threat, unbelievable. And this is the murder. And the year was 5777, 2017, unbelievable. And he was found guilty. So, also clear indications that the Satan almost caused his death. Then, this is a little bit bigger what we saw. And then we have here also this what we saw before about Ibacher, that will be elected, that will be elected to the United States president because of love of Israel, the fact that he was loving, I think that his priest said that the reason that he was elected because of his love to Israel. Then another one, which is also interesting about Iran, that he really he did not want to stop the sanction from Iran. And he did everything that Iran will not be able to develop the bomb, So you have it, Iran, and Trump, and now came Dolan and come Biden, and the bomb will be ready. So this is what you have here, unbelievably. Then, this is what we saw before, that he was the 45th president, Trump, you have the name Trump, and he was like Cyrus, definitely, he was the president, United States, and again, dollar this, and the month of Cheshvan, this was the month that he was elected. One should know it's very, very significant. This lot of interesting gematria, which also show divine providence. The gematria of Paris Conference is 777 in gematria. Date of Trump inauguration, 1/2017. Trump's birth was on the 6th of the 1446. This is 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days from his birth. 777, the Hebrew year, 577. It means a lot of divine providence in what we had in Donald Trump, but in spite of this, the Satan was strong and spoiled it, and now we have to wait who knows how long. Then we have something also very important, and this is what I said in many YouTube and explaining that today we are living in the era of the son of Joseph. Just I will show what the people of the Vilna Gaon said. That we are living son of Joseph, because son of Joseph, Messiah, is the power really we help Israel and also bring to a lot of revelations the Torah. So we have here Trump. They're amazing. You have Trump here with son of Joseph, because also like really Cyrus. He said the Kabbalist Cook says you have Sparkuk Cyrus. So, and he was called Messiah of God. So you have here amazing. You have Donald Trump. Very good meeting, Loves of Israel, as we said. Definitely this will mean son of Jesse, but repentance. And he was supporter of Israel. You have Matityahu here, because maybe this is a table that he did. So let us see more. Similar to what we said in the beginning, why have you Netanyahu, Israel, and Trump in the United States. And we hope this could bring redemption. And Messiah, son of Jesse. Cyrus, but again, Satan is strong and we missed it. Another one, which is also very interesting, a lot of words to do with Messiah. You have son of Jesse, will save Israel. Hope, this could be. And again, you have Donald here, Trump, Trump, amazing. It's Trump reading film with Trump, Donald Trump. One should know it is far away from being coincidence. And Son of David would come. And definitely you have Cyrus parallel, which also was in. And sons of Joseph. Yeah, those who are helping Israel, sons of Joseph. And they are coming here. Then, looking more, you have also similar thing. This is the year that he was elected, 577, 2017. And Trump, yeah, yeah, not Ishmael. Not again, Donald Trump will be president, Ivacher will be elected to president in the month Cheshvan, November, to the state. Yeah, and this is a sign of Messiah time. This is why Messiah come here. But again, yeah, it was very significant table, very significant one. You can see yourself, it appears in one book, Deuteronomy, which is against our millennia, that is Vilna Gaon. So this itself makes all these tables very, very significant. And according to the Gaon for Vilna, the general purpose of Messiah, son of Joseph, is to reveal the secrets of the Torah, the gathering of the exiles, and to support, amazing support, the uproot the impure forces. This is taken from the voice of the turtle dove, from the pupil of the Vilna Gaon. So this is much more about what Donald Trump said about Putin, yeah, Biden, yeah. So he said with Biden on Tuesday called the arrival of troops, the beginning of a Russian invasion and other problem. So, kisser, so a lot of interesting things. But the most interesting table is this one. You have to have presidents Putin, Trump even sharing the same letter, Cyrus, Netanyahu, in the same, very significant, no doubt. So, who knows, maybe now you see the government of Israel is utter so many fighting between parties there. So maybe really this government, the heresy government, the leftists will come down and Netanyahu will come back. And the same thing with Donald, maybe that world will understand what we miss. So interesting and very significant tables. In fact, all this we took from Richard Shaw. He did a whole show on these tables about Donald Trump. So beautiful, one can see it if you put in the internet, YouTube, Richard Shaw, Bible course about Trump. Very, very interesting. So, as you see, those tables really are far away and explain that we are living now in the time of son of Joseph. All the discoveries of the codes, Gematriot, is part of it that you saw. Yeah, and this also the situation now that the Ishmael, like Emirates, Bahrain, now really appreciate Israel and so on, realize. So all of it, this Abraham Accord, Abraham Accord are descendants of this. So interesting and significant set of tables to tell us where we are now and hoping that things will change. Maybe you have to pray to do tshuva, who knows what can change the situation that becomes very, very, very serious in Ukraine. And if Trump would be the president, it would not happen.